Happy Father's Day, monkeys. I'm Eddie Braverman, that's Midas Mulligan Magoo, and this is episode 27 of Not Safe for Work on WallStreetOasis.com. There was a lot of stuff we could have covered in this episode, like the Greek crisis or the apparent cool down in the IPO market, but we decided to devote the entire episode to stupid shit people do to ruin their lives, because we got a lot of stuff to work with. This was inspired by the video of the chick from NYU going off on the Metro North employee about how well educated she is and how the Metro North will receive no further patronage from the likes of her. Like a pack of jackals, the internet took this chick apart.
Bitch, I got a degree!
The story broke on Deal Breaker because the girl did an internship at BNP, so there was at least a tangential connection to Wall Street. And before you knew it, commenters had linked to a cached version of her LinkedIn profile. A Facebook fan page was established just so people could rail on her. And the video even wound up on the front page of Yahoo for a while. Now, this chick is royally screwed because whenever a potential employer Googles her, this is what's going to come up. What do you think, dude?
I think it's horseshit, man. I mean, listen, she's a cunt. The world's full of them, and why should this be any sort of determining factor in anything she does?
Well, I mean, I find it curious how, yes, it was an unfortunate situation, and she kind of went overboard with the entitlement, which, you know, I have a huge problem with, but the way, I mean, it was like within moments people ruined this chick. I was just stunned at how fast and savage it was.
It's retarded, man. I mean, look, like I said, she is a cunt. She did act, let's say, inappropriately or rudely or whatever the case is, but this has nothing to do with how good she is at her job, what kind of person she is in real life. I mean, every one of us has at some point thrown a shit fit when we thought that nobody was looking, and it's just rampant overreaction, and I mean, it's just another example of how overly sensitive we're becoming and worrying about things that really don't matter.
You know, that's certainly a part of it, but it's the whole internet aspect. I mean, rather than using the internet for what it was meant for, you know, the optimal porn delivery system. The internet has just become a high school, you know, the high school quad, and it's like you have to assume these days that everything you say and do is being recorded by someone. I mean, it might not be the case, but you can't risk it.
Well, this is why I tell people it's very important to punch somebody in the face from time to time, just to let them know that they can't just go and gossip about your ass on Facebook. I mean, the whole rules still apply. You have to be held accountable for your actions. And frankly, if any of you guys takes a picture of me talking shit to a homeless guy in the subway, I'm going to kick your fucking ass. And I'm still going to go be a good guy and give him a quarter.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It cracks me up. I look at the Anthony Weiner thing, and, you know, how quickly that got legs. And that was horribly mismanaged by the guy, and he's a total douche. But, you know, this is a chick who just had an unfortunate circumstance on the subway, and, you know, and now she's done. I mean, like, I think BNP actually came out and made a statement that she's no longer with them or whatever. She did like a 4-month internship with them over a year ago. So, I mean, it wasn't like she was actively employed, but, you know, the bank felt it was worth coming out and putting some distance between them.
What I don't understand is, what does this have to do with BNP or any potential former or future employer? Why are you in any way responsible as employer or employee for the things that you do on your own time which do not affect your job? There's nothing that she did that was wrong. I mean, all right, like, look, third time I'm saying it. She's a cunt. Fine. She has an attitude. Fine. What is so wrong with that? What is so wrong with, you know, acting stupid? Which one of us has
nothing? The answer to that is nothing. And, you know, I use myself as an example. Just last night, we had a going away party for some friends of ours, and I was so hammered that I was on this was at the last bar we were at. I was on my second pint before I realized we were in a gay bar. And I'm just thinking to myself this morning, you know, If somebody wanted to be a dick and video me in a gay bar, there's probably some people that could get some mileage out of that. Not that it would bother me at all, but, you know, this is just your day-to-day life. You do stupid shit and you get caught, but later on down the line, when an employer Googles, you know, a potential employer Googles her or somebody else, and they, you know, they have a choice between a couple of different applicants, this could be the thing that tips the scale in favor of somebody else. So, you know, because you gotta want to work with the people that you work with.
I understand that, and you know, this is probably a good time to go into some kind of conspiracy theorist rap about the internet only existing to keep track of us and our behaviors so we can be blackmailed later. I'm not gonna do that, but it does oddly enough seem like it's going in that direction. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for young people because, you know, when you get to be my age, I don't give a shit. You know, it doesn't matter what somebody catches me doing. But I read an article recently that said a large percentage of kids today are actually going to have to legally change their names when they get older to escape all the stupid shit they've done that made it on the internet. So yeah, I feel bad for young people like this who are, you know, trying to make it in the world, and this stuff certainly doesn't help. You look at like Alexi Weiner or Jeffrey Chang, guys like this, they totally brought it on themselves. But, you know, I'm sure when Weiner made that crazy ass video, he didn't think that it was going to go all over the internet and just become, you know, a sensation. So, what do you think?
Those
Oh,
guys are winners as far as I'm concerned, man. I think Jeff's the man. I think Alex is the man. I think you know, they took a little bit of initiative. You know, they might not have come out exactly the way they wanted it to, but honestly, I think it's just a matchup of personalities. Personally, I'd rather bring in like a Jeff Chang for an interview and see what the fuck he's all about and what's going on in his head. You know, because maybe you can take a guy like this and mold him into something. Personally, I'm not a fan of like the little ant following the rules. I'm not a fan of us being, you know, having the benefit and the opportunity to live in the only country in the world where centralized government economics is not the official policy and endorsed as if it's the greatest fucking thing since sliced bread. And we seem to be going in the direction where we're trying to be more conformist and less original, less individual. So yeah, you know, it's very easy to point the finger at Jeff or Alex or any one of these guys, the girl in the video. But look, they're being human, and bottom line is to me, everyone's gonna do something stupid. Everyone's gonna make a mistake. Why the hell that should be something that has anything to do with your LinkedIn profile or your profile as a potential employee is beyond me, and I just refuse to pay attention to it. And I think that's what it comes down to, what you choose to pay attention to.
yep, yep. Well, you know, the message I would leave to the monkeys is, you know, it's the world we live in, so you just have to get a little more paranoid and assume that everything you're doing is being recorded. And, you know, you can be like me and just not give a shit. Or, you know, if you're at the beginning stages of your career, you kind of have to give a shit because this is stuff that could come back to haunt you. What I really wonder about is why do we delight so much in destroying people who get caught doing stupid shit? I mean, it was like a pack of jackals. Is it just social Darwinism? Are we trying to make it harder for these people to breed? Is that what's going on?
There's a great book called Spiral Dynamics. It's 1996. It gives a color coded breakdown of the evolution of human society and psychosocial dependence. So basically, the theory is, you know, we started out wild and crazy, just trying to get by, and you know, we're slowly moving along that spectrum of becoming enlightened and perfect and all that other bullshit that we know can't happen. What I think is happening right now is we've just gotten to a point where things are way too easy, way too simple. People are way too focused on themselves. And the little basic things that used to be a part of life on a daily basis are just completely ignored. I think that's kind of, you know, we haven't done an official Man Week review, but I got a lot of hate for putting up a few different topics that, you know, were meant to be kind of encourage people to think about certain things, and there were so many kind of these personal interpretations, like the story is about you and it's directed at you. The reality is, throughout our history, we've had to worry about getting physically assaulted for insulting someone. We've had to worry about getting killed if we say the wrong thing in the wrong place. We've had to worry about someone taking our wives, our children, our food supply. And now that we don't have these fears anymore on a daily basis, we're looking to fulfill that kind of primal need for all these things that we say are uncivilized but are really a part of our nature. So how do we make up for not being able to go out and punch somebody in the face because we know we'll go to jail for it? Well, we ridicule them. We find different ways to bring people down. So this is, I mean, this is no different than a lynch mob or, you know, religious crime or a racial crime or anything that used to kind of happen normally in life. And, you know, it's just another way of getting the frustration out. So I don't think of it as a bad thing. I think it's bad that we try to censor all the other human needs and emotions that we do try to censor. So I think
It's
it's
an
kind
interesting
of
point.
political correctness coming back to bite us on the ass and punch us in the face.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's it for this week, monkeys. Just wanted to throw this out there. If you're going to yell at a employee on the subway or anybody else, be prepared to see that shit on the internet. And the internet is
Yeah,
forever.
exactly. And if you're going to do it already, you might as well give them one of these too, right in the eye.
Yeah. All right, guys. Keep your heads low and your powder dry, and we will see you in 2 weeks. I won't be here next week. I'm actually going to be on vacation in Spain. So
Sounds good.
we will see you in 2 weeks. Take care.
We'll talk to you.